Those games are amazing to be a part of just because of the experience that it gives me and the staff. And then the second thing for the players, especially our draft picks, they need those experiences. They need to feel the crowd and the energy. So it's great to have those experiences and be a part of that. And then I didn't like the way the first quarter started because I mean, 32 points in the first quarter in 10 minutes. That's a lot. And then 20, no more than 20 after that, 12 in the fourth quarter. So we really did pick up the energy, which I thought it would be hard to do. But just defensive fundamentals, communication, finishing possessions with a rebound, and then we got out and ran, and we got some fast break points. I think we were 10 plus 10 in fast break points. So just means our defense was working. A lot of that's communication and convert on the other end.
How would I say all summer
I think, as the game moves fast, but you can't allow your mind to do the same thing. And as much as he wants to score and make plays and dunk on people, he's got to let the plays kind of unfold in front of him and then understand his teammates and where they are and what kind of spacing they have. And I felt like he had a nice mix of driving to the basket and finishing. We know how physical and impressive an athlete he is. But then the best part is can I get to the foul line? Can I get guys up in the air and knock some free throws down? He was more consistent today. And then just the willingness to pass, I think, is really important. He's not a selfish kid, and we got to take advantage of that because then we can play through him some, and that's going to make it easier for Steph and Clay and Draymond way down the road. But he's getting some great lessons right now.
Hit 5 row, and one of them was dangerous. So he has really.
Yes, it was.
So he really looks like that shot looks better. Obviously,
he
makes him look like a worthy.
For sure. First of all, he's such a good kid. He just brings kind of joy to the floor. He's always laughing and joking, but he's a serious competitor. And you see it, especially on the defensive end. And then you look at his numbers, 10, 8 rebounds. He had 6 assists. He had 3 steals. So he's impactful on both sides of the ball. And then the shooting, he's really been working at it. I've gotten an opportunity to be with him in some of those drills and workouts, but then just to see him put in the work and see the process kind of come out positive for him. So I'm hoping he does get that NBA chance. If it's with us, great. If it's with somebody else, but I'm enjoying coaching him. He's a pleasure to coach. Can we open up for some Zoom questions now?
Yeah, you were kind of alluding a little bit to Jonathan's playmaking earlier. What have you seen from him and his passing ability, maybe his vision, and how that it's led to some highlight passes, but obviously the turnovers are high too.
Yeah, I think he's got to be he's a willing passer, which is always important. Starting the break, I've said in a couple other interviews that when he gets the rebound and starts pushing the ball, that's when he's most dangerous because he's willing to throw the ball ahead. I think in the half court, he's just got to understand where his teammates are. The spacing in the NBA is different than he's probably played in, even though he played in the G League last year. So he's just got to understand the way defense are trying to play him and maybe even slow down a notch. He's so physical. He can still get to the rim even with somebody right next to him. And at the same time, be comfortable 7, 8, 10 times out of 10, making the right pass and knowing that the ball will come back to him. So I'm loving that he is unselfish. And at the same time, we still want him to be aggressive.
Coach James Hill with BNC Sports. When you look at Gary Payton Jr., it looks like he's playing at a high level. What do you see when you look at GP2?
Well, seeing him now, and I coached against him a few years ago when he was in the G League, and he was pretty much a triple-double threat every night. And then he basically almost got that same thing today. He always brings the floor game. It's nice to see him knock down some jumpers. A lot of times your spacing gets compromised when a player is not confident shooting the ball. You have to look like you're going to make it. And so now he actually looks like he's going to make it. And of course, he's an amazing athlete. So if you run at him, he's going to go make a play for himself. And he's totally an unselfish player, and he can make the right pass too. So it's nice to see him kind of round out his game. He's providing a tremendous amount of leadership for me and the staff, for sure.
Did you know Moses had that hook shot in his repertoire?
These guys practice all kinds of different finishes, and you have to have them when those, 7-footers come across the lane to block the shot. But I did have my eyebrows raised looking back at the staff when that went in. We'll definitely keep working on it before we start shooting that too much in games.
He's got a little bit more like creativity to the way he can score, though, right?
Yeah, he's got some craftiness. You know, once he's like we talked about, you know, playing at the speed of the game and letting the game come to him. Tonight he was just way more aggressive into his pull-up game, but then running the floor, he got a lob over the top, got a layup, he got to the foul line, and of course he's a knockdown shooter, especially from the corners. So I think he's starting to figure things out, and you know, learning how to play, especially in these kind of environments, can only help him going forward.
Hey, Coach Rich with Let's Go Warriors. Back to Kuminga. You mentioned him starting the break and then sort of like not only just being a passer and being more willing to pass, but then his natural ability of getting downhill. Do you foresee a way of the system allowing him to get downhill in more of a half-court set?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to happen two different ways. He's going to be a more dynamic cutter. Having Andre Iguodala and guys like that in our program, in our building every day is going to help him, because they have seen the pictures a million times over that Jonathan hasn't. So being a cutter is going to be one way. And I think also, like, when he shoots the ball and he actually makes a couple and he's worked on his footwork and his shot, now when people have to run at him, he'll be able to drive it left or right. And like I said, he's going to be a willing passer, but we want him finishing at the rim. You see those impressive finishes, and we can use more of that. And like I said, he can still be a playmaker, regardless of whether he decides to go in there and dunk it or make a play for somebody else.